Good morning, everybody. This is the Floyd County Board of Supervisors meeting for March 13th, starting at 9:01. Okay. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
I'll move to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 2, public comment. I think everybody here is here for a reason, okay? We'll move to item 3, which is review/action regarding approval of the February 26th and 27th meeting minutes.
There was one small, just kind of a typo, nothing more than that, but I noticed that at one of the meetings I was absent, I made a motion.
That would have been tough.
Doesn't work well, does it?
Which one was it?
Which,
February 27th. Just a little typo, but it moved to correct it.
okay, so we approved the amendment. Was there anything else?
Sure.
You want a separate motion to?
Well,
Yeah. So do we make a motion to approve the amendment?
To amend and then a motion to approve.
Motion to approve,
I moved that
Okay.
part.
all right,
Second.
okay. Motion made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
I moved to approve the minutes as amended, all of them.
Okay. All right. Do I have to do
Second.
anything? You said
No.
second? All right, all those in favor say aye for the amended minutes. Aye, okay, motion passed. Next on the agenda is review action regarding approval of the claims.
Move to approve the claims as presented.
Seconded?
All right. Motion made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next on the agenda, I don't know if Leslie's planning on coming up. This has to do with the review action regarding the contract for hazard mitigation plan update, which was in our packet.
You've reached Leslie Weber, Floyd County Emergency Management Director and Zoning Administrator.
There she was.
I am
I can probably shed some light on this. This has been on a workshop meeting already. We're two different companies that, there's Nyakog and another company that she had looked into for updating our multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan. And Nyakog came in at a lower price, but Nyakog has two options. One option is where Leslie does some of the footwork, meetings, organizing meetings and things like that. And the other one is Nyakog does it all. The one where Leslie does more of the footwork is, the cost is $9,900. And the one where Nyakog does the footwork is $12,400. And I believe Leslie agreed to do that footwork, so the $9,900
For less, all right. Okay,
With that, I would move that we approve the contract with Nyakog for the hazard mitigation plan at the price of $9,900. In the amount of $9,900.
okay.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on this? All right, with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed then for Leslie to do that part of the work with the Floyd County Hazard Mitigation Plan for the lump sum of $9,900. Okay. All right, next item on the agenda, review action regarding approval of, this is a long one, applications for recreational lakes, forest covers, rivers and streams, rivers and stream banks, and open prairies, property tax exemption, which is SLU bill, applications for wildlife habitat property tax exemption, and applications for native prairie or wetlands property tax exemption. Got that? Okay, do we have anything on this?
These are what I showed you yesterday.
But the names and applications of
Yeah.
everybody who is.
These are all the
Oh my
applications.
gosh, okay.
If you'd like, the assessor's office can come up and tell you what they're all about. These pages summarize the different applications and the total.
Is there a total number of acres on that sheet? A lot of these are just 6, 7, 16.
Yeah, not very much.
Yeah, they're all.
Okay.
Does it give a total? 3,155 acres.
How much was it?
3,155.
Okay.
Nope, that's value. Acres. Acres. 2,760.06 acres.
I mean, has that increased over the years? And maybe that's a very question. Okay.
Not much.
No,
It's pretty stable, but it might a little bit from time to time, but
Okay.
it's pretty much the same. It's designed to give an incentive for people to keep those
I think this is
acres
great.
in conservation reserve programs, wetlands.
Absolutely.
It's called the SLU bill, and
been around for a long time.
there was an attempt to remove it many years ago. Gloria would remember that. Doug, you weren't here, but there was an attempt by Warren Dunkel to remove that.
For residential.
He thought there were some abuses on the residential side of it.
Commercial, though, he had some concerns with some commercial ones as well.
Yeah, residential and commercial.
Particularly quarries.
Right.
Mm.
But the majority prevailed, and it was not exempted.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's a great
good- it's a great program.
It is,
And,
yeah.
right, well, incentive for people, and all those have, of course, been approved by the Conservation Service.
So do we have a motion?
I would so move to approve the applications for property tax exemption from the school bill.
Any second? Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
It is the other applications as well. The other 2 types of applications.
So there's 2 of
That's
them.
included in your motion. 3 types of applications.
Okay.
Yeah, there were 2 down at the bottom.
Native prairie and wetlands property tax
Yep.
exemption.
So it's the SLU bill, it's the wildlife habitat property tax exemption, and the native prairie or wetland property
Do you
tax.
want us to restate the motion then? Or is
I
it?
don't think it's necessary, I will put my glasses on if you, I'm sorry, if you'd like to retain it, we certainly can, if it's necessary.
If-
I don't think it is.
As long as it's,
If
I
we're
can
all
have
in agreement
the
that
3
it's
types of
all
applications
three.
in
Of course
addition to
you
the
can.
SLU bill.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, good.
Oftentimes are, certainly.
All right, item 7, review action regarding invitation to the Iowa County Supervisor White House Conference.
I brought this to the board's attention yesterday, we had a good discussion on it. I'd make a motion to approve sending Supervisor Cam, myself to the meeting, and also included reimbursing anyone who wants to file a claim for normal and customary travel expenses.
And I'll make that statement too. I know yesterday in our discussion, Supervisor Cam had made the statement that he wasn't asking for reimbursement. I know Supervisor Q and you made a comment too, that this is a county function. We've been asked, as it makes sense, that we would, go ahead and reimburse since it is a county function. But I also would like to say to Supervisor Cam that that's fair. I mean, I would hate to approve, you know, one and not yourself. So again, the way you stated the motion is that those claims that come in should be allowed to be reimbursed. And I second on that one.
Hey, further discussion. I mean, if you justify it as customary travel, that's fine. I'm not going to ask for reimbursement, but that's my personal opinion.
I think the conference could be very interesting, and as we talked about yesterday, already collecting some comments from local residents about what we'd like to submit. I mentioned yesterday, and something I heard at the FSA office, the guy that makes the best pizzas in town told me that we ought to be talking about small businesses. And of course, mental health is an issue that does involve federal government in many ways. So I hope that we have an opportunity to talk about that and infrastructure. It's a possible piece of federal legislation. So I'm looking forward to attending, and Supervisor Cam and I, we can watch each other when we get to the White House. How about that?
And then, with that
Sometimes
being,
you get invited.
with that being said, you know, we all as a board then will look forward to having you come back and present, you know,
certainly.
so that all of us, you know, can hear how it
I'll plan
went
on
and
writing
what
about it.
discussion was.
All right, that'd be good. Look forward to it.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, so motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Good luck to both of you. Do us proud. That's what we want to say, right? All right. Item 8 is review action regarding liquor license application for Freeze Frame LLC, and that is known as the Freeze Frame Bowl.
Just north of Green on the,
Okay,
over the county line.
so this was in our packet. Gloria, is everything in order on this?
Everything's in order. This is a renewal for them, and they've been in business for a lot of years, and
We would move to approve the liquor license application for the Freeze Frame LLC.
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. We've got till 9:30 for our public hearing, so what we could do is jump to Dustin. Yes. If you're ready.
Yeah, whenever.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and we'll come on up. So we're gonna jump down to, let's say, item 12, which is review action regarding contract for bridge replacement project with Hinkle Construction out of Mason City for $1,305,944.
Yep, and Hinkle was a little better, Godfreyson was second. The estimate really was better than the estimate. The estimate was like 1.55 million. We came in at 1,305,944.94. So I would just recommend the approval of those. And that one is 80-20, which means 80% of that comes out of the bridge funds that are allocated to Floyd County. The 20% would be local, because it's not a local road.
I heard something last night at the NICOG that the Trump budget comes out, it switches those percentages. 80% local, 20% federal.
Well, we better be talking about that then.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
that'd be a huge-
And in actuality, that may be even different because the swap bill passed, so that federal dollars will be all state then, and we receive the state dollars. So right now, I mean, even with moving from this point forward.
Yeah, obviously, with discussion
yeah.
on how it's gonna affect counties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That even with the new rules for the swap, which means we're getting the state dollars and not the federal dollars.
Right.
We still do fall through the some of the hoops and whatever else that we have to jump through. But I don't even have to do a 20% match technically. I can do 100% paid for out of that state funds. But in this case, we were already to the point of letting this, and so we're at the 80-20 and 20% local. And that is listed in my budget, which we'll have that hearing on 9:30. You know, I list 1.5 million And with some, there'll probably be some overruns on this too, so my assumption is from 1.3, it'll probably jump 100,000 or something like that, but
Okay.
just depending, we usually run into stuff that was not addressed in the letting. But. So I would just recommend approving of the contracts with Henkel for that dollar amount, and we'll get things signed. I got 2 pages there and bonds to sign.
I'll move to approve the contract for bridge replacement with Henkel Construction in Mason City.
And direct the chair to sign.
Yes, and the chair.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded, further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
And just so you guys are aware, I mean, I could have done another discussion, but the late start date of that is in May 14th, I think. May 14th, and 110 working days, so. Like I tell everybody else, it'll be done by Christmas.
Yeah, right.
There's two, it's
Two
one of those
tags
that's
for
not
each of
gonna
them.
inconvenience
And I've
anybody
already
because
dated
it's
it,
already
just
closed.
signed by the X.
All right, so,
So yeah, I just don't make promises until we know further along, obviously, but hopefully Henkel will come in and do a good
Does
job for us.
the old bridge come out of there?
That has nothing to do with, that's Truck's bridge.
yeah, that's his.
We sold it to him for $1.
Did you sell it to him for
For $1. Yeah. So, you know, at some point, we'll see how that thing, because it's slowly deteriorated to the point where I think it's almost not, I don't think it's usable, I don't think Chuck can use it, I think it's washed over on that south side.
I would not want to drive over it.
No,
They're still going across with the 4-wheelers.
you might have filled in that hole that was washed out on the backside, I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but
I didn't get very close to it.
okay. You might not accept.
That's all right. Got it. Okay, that should be it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, then discussion with county engineer regarding secondary road activities.
Yeah, and then this is a time sheet. Basically, we've still been in that slow winter mode, I guess, you know, with the freezing rains, a little bit of snow, a little bit of stuff. I know they went out this last Sunday for a couple hours. I'm hoping we're getting out of that winter mode.
We all do.
Hopefully,
Still,
just making you aware of that.
I mean, there's still a lot of winter left, but have you used a lot of rock and salt? Or
Yeah.
sand,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's been a good year for doing that, it's the way it is. I mean, the small things, the freezing rain, those type of things, like just as much if not more. I'd almost rather have a bunch of snow. I hate saying that, don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I don't want snow, believe me. Yeah, I said that, hey, that's it, make a promise.
You just said that to everybody.
On there, I know. I mean,
Doesn't matter if you're quoted on it.
as far as practical purposes
Free to
go,
do what you want.
we use just as much material on these small things than we would on the big stuff, so, if not even more sometimes, so. So, yeah, I definitely don't like winter. And I grew up in it, so,
Spring is
in
next
upper
week.
Michigan, yeah. The one thing I just handed Gloria too was underground storage tank, the place in Rudd. You know, we still got approval, they're doing monitoring on that for 9 wells, 2 water lines, blah, 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 $64, and it was approved for the underground storage tank fund to cover that cost. That's an ongoing thing I've been talking about for
There's no
17
How many
years.
years?
There's no
For
tanks.
17 years I've been here.
There's no tanks there.
I know, there's
No,
just all
but-
those wells and all the, I don't know when it's gonna, every time I try to talk to the people that monitor for us, it's just a continual thing, I don't know. At some point, you would think maybe it would become clean, but they're monitoring things and then they continue on until we get the clearances from the DNR or whoever.
Those tanks are so old, I'd like to see those monitoring, what they find,
I
because
have 9 pages, 9 books,
Books, yeah.
when
big
For
binders.
17 years of review.
if you bear with me, when I was in the legislature, I called for a study of the LUS tanks, leaking underground storage
Yep.
tanks. And we found that there was a substance called, that there was cancer-causing substances surrounding the wells. At one point in time, the additive was an oxygenant, it was added to gasoline, was a petroleum product. and it leaked into the underground water and was a cancer, a carcinogen.
Right.
And that was called methyl tertiary butyl ether. And we replaced that with ethanol and banned MTBE in Iowa as a result of that study. But, so I'd like to know, 17 years later, are they still finding MTBE in the water?
I get a packet probably that thick every now and then, every once a year or whatever. Once they do these monitoring, I'll get a report about that thick. You can come, I've got like 8, 9 books about that thick over the years, and it's just crazy. And I try reading and believing, it's over my head, I mean, some of the stuff. And I know that's what they specialize in, this company, this ATC, which used to be a different name back in the day. But, you know, it's covered by the Underground Storage Tank Fund right now, so keep doing whatever until at some point, hopefully it goes away, but I don't know when that will be.
There was a story in the Globe Gazette, Kathy O'Brien, or who, Kathy O'Brien, or who was it? And it said Kewen banned MTV, tries to ban MTBE, and went to a student forum,
Mhm.
and they said, "You're trying to ban MTV?"
Oh, nice.
Gosh. Drama.
Don't make the kids panic there.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. So I don't know any more than that. Every time I call them, they said it gets out of my league as far as what they have to keep doing and whatever, but we'll just follow the lead. You typically sometimes have a conference call about it, and then I'll just sit there and
You know, they
listen to
were
them.
talking about replacing that chunk of water line, and, you know,
Yeah.
I called you and.
Cause you're replacing some pavement or something, weren't you? Or
Yeah, they did a whole block of pavement over there, and part of they just covered it back up again.
Was that what's going on over here at the Casey station that's closing?
I don't know.
Excavator
I
that's on
don't
there.
know.
Taking those tanks
I
out.
bet
They're
you
taking
tanks
tanks.
will come out, just like they did years ago.
Right.
That was actually discussed at the ADC meeting, because that property is not very valuable until those assurances
Get 'em out
are
of there.
made
Yep.
that it's
Non-hazardous or anything, right. Outside that, you guys, I mean, it's been, we're getting plans ready for T-38, that project is next year. The bridge project out north of the ferry on the back
Which
west.
I have to remind you, Stan wants to do that.
I know, every time I had meeting with you, I shouldn't even say T-38.
Brought it up
because
last
you already
night
bring it up.
He won't let that die, right?
He brought it up last night.
And then been working on my 5-year program, and I've got 2 minutes to do that before you get there. 2 weeks from now, maybe, and if you guys want to come talk to me individually, you can. These are the maps I give you every year, basically talk about our day labor projects. You can look at one if you want.
This way, we'll put one up.
Usually I'll put one up somewhere, yeah, I really don't have to have it. And it just talks about, just so you understand my nomenclature here, the green ones are all of our day labor projects. And typically I'll have 4 of the ones will be day labor for, and I go by fiscal year now, because there's a couple of things we can do under maintenance that fall under after July 1st. So when it says fall 18, that means it was one of the day labor ones. And then there's a one maintenance one too over by Rockford. The blue ones are the actual bridge projects that are already approved. I shuffled a little bit around to know when certain projects come up. We have a bridge project that is on the northwest part of the county. It's bridge number 156100. That was a bridge that was never in our inventory for some reason, and we found that.
Way up in the corner.
Top left corner, it's about
Yeah, I
a quarter
see.
mile south of the county line on S70. So we found that one, and we're looking at trying to replace it, and I can't do it with my own guys, so I had to throw that in there because it's at the point where I don't know if we're gonna we wouldn't close it right next year or two, but I need to get that replaced. So I moved that up to 2020.
Did
and-
North Springs ever replace that little bridge culvert right on there?
Yes, they did do that, yeah. So I just want you guys aware of it, that I shuffled some stuff around. You know, last year, I believe is when we added, was it Crewhouse Bridge, I believe, was added in 22. So what I'm telling you guys is then we got these red, the ones that are in red then, are ones that are candidate bridge projects. And to understand, my little key in the bottom right corner is basically the first 6 numbers are bridge numbers. The second number is the sufficiency rating, which means the lower the number, the worse the bridge is. Then below the line is the length of the bridge existing, and then the weight limits that some of these have.
So one you got closed up there, which we, the 122 plus the 55 by culvert in that group?
Say that again?
Bogey's right.
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
closed, and that's
That's
been
closed.
closed.
Right.
You're not.
So the
planning on
one
doing it.
22.
No, I said, that's just showing you that it's closed.
Right.
I think at this point, we
Right.
can
But is that
understand, I
100?
doubt we're gonna do it without a major realignment and,
122-foot bridge plus a 55-foot box culvert.
well, it's a small, like, approach wood bridge or something like that. It's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But they classify it as two
But that's
bridges.
that's what those two numbers are.
Yeah,
And your one in the top left corner,
Yeah.
are there four arrows coming off that?
there technically is, and the reason is because paving in 2020 will be S70 from North Springs all the way to the county line, and then that little 1 mile from S70 west to the Saragordo County line, because that's paved too.
That is
So there's paved,
confusing.
so there's 4 arrows there, and then this added that one in there. But so if you guys have a thought, maybe you've had calls on certain bridges or not, I mean, we kind of show the bridges that are in schedule for the next 4 years for sure, 19, 20, 21, 22, actually 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I would be adding a bridge in the 5th year out for my program, so it just, you know, if you guys had any comments, if not, usually it's been, the 17 years I've been here, I really haven't had a lot of comments. I mean, that one couple did come in here last year about Kukon's Bridge,
Right.
and I did throw that in there. You know, do you do a couple bridges like that, so close, that are big bridges? But, you know, we got decent prices on Frankie's Bridge, so.
Yeah.
And this one would be not nearly as major a realignment, because we'll have road overtopping with the river.
Mhm.
It's a pretty simplistic, Kukon's would be pretty simplistic, actually. So, but I just wanted to give it to you guys now, in a couple weeks if you want, I put on the agenda to discuss
You got one way.
bridge
down
projects
there.
or,
Corners that a shared one with several.
that would be Saragordo shared. I added that one in there just because especially Randy was in the 30s. Typically, if you're getting down into the 20s and 30s, the 20s right now or any 30s are typically the ones that are already scheduled. But, you know, we can't do them all either, so it just
No.
depends on the funding and so. But I just give that to you guys ahead of time, so that way we can discuss it. Maybe I'll throw on it, you know, we could do it under my normal topic, but I might add discussion regarding candidate bridge project or something like that. That way it's officially on the agenda per se.
Sounds good. Great, thanks for sharing.
Almost forgot about that.
All right, is there anything else?
No, I don't think so.
That's it?
Yep.
Any questions for Dustin? Thank you. All right, and we are close to number.
Sure.
2 minutes.
Speaking of former Supervisor Dunkel, he always started off our budget hearings with the following, so I'll make it official if that's all right with you, Sharon.
I am fine with that.
He did.
You should make an
He
official.
would go
You
on.
should make an
with
official.
other people just to make sure.
He did that for every hearing, it wasn't only the budget hearing.
Maybe we can officially, name it that or something.
Dunkel call.
Yeah. there you go.
And I don't see anybody coming.
It never worked.
All right.
It never
And
worked.
it is 9:30, so I will open up the item number 9 on our agenda, which is the 9:30 public hearing regarding our fiscal year 19 county budget. We are officially starting. Has there been any discussion at all that has come to you, Auditor Carr?
I've received no opposition to or support of the budget, other than going to the Farm Bureau
Farm
meeting.
Bureau.
And we did have a nice review from Farm Bureau.
Mhm.
Their state people reviewed our budget and had
Really, no concerns, no. We didn't have any issues. And neither of you have had anybody?
I actually had one comment yesterday. I talked to a guy who was irritated, he owned a farm, and he wasn't able to take his garbage. He lives in Charles City, and he wasn't able to take his garbage out there, so I thought we ought to raise the budget up so that he could take his garbage out to the collection site at the fair. That's the only one I have.
Alright.
That may have to be discussed more, because we have a couple more complaints. And that probably should be on the agenda to discuss,
Hmm.
because I'm getting frustrated
I've had
myself.
3 or 4 of them.
I'm getting frustrated myself because of it, so. That's, I guess, budgetary reason or whatever down the road, then we can discuss it some other time.
That's the only comment I've had.
I may just visit with you guys individually, it's because it's not on the agenda right now, but.
Mhm.
I did not receive a comment personally, but I did read the letter to the editor written by Fran Schmidt regarding the request to fund the Floyd County Memorial Hospital at $100,000.
That's true, that was in favor. Well, with that, I will close the public hearing with no more comments. Item 11 is review action regarding resolution, or 10, I'm sorry. Review action regarding resolution 1218, which is setting the elected officials' salaries for fiscal year 19, and those are attached. What we had put together was the county attorney was to get an increase of 2.815%, county auditor at 2.615%, county recorder at 2.615%, sheriff at 2.615%, treasurer at 2.615%, and the supervisors at 1.615%. Do we have any discussion? Do we have a motion to approve?
I would move to approve resolution 12-18.
Second?
Okay, so again, no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Next on the agenda, review action regarding resolution 13-18, which is the adoption of the budget and certification of taxes for fiscal year 19.
I did provide in your packets as well, just some graphs that show our history of our levy rates. So these have been updated, I update these every year, these are also on our website, so you can see the trends of what's happening with property tax rates. One shows all of the levy rates and the history of those levy rates, the other one also pulls in the county valuations, and so this is kind of a picture that shows if the valuations
like
go up,
these.
that they, levy rates, you would hope would go down if the valuations are going up.
I think the process this year went very well. I think every department was trying to do everything they could to be fiscally responsible. There's just some areas that, is somewhat out of our control. I mean, mental health, of course, is going to be in question as we move forward, to see what happens there. I think some of the departments that we knew were coming in a little higher, but I think they've done a good job to try and figure out, where they want their money being spent, which was the sheriff's department. Other than that, I know, I felt good about a lot of the agencies or services that came in and requesting money, funding. I felt we did, the best that we could with the money that we have. And again, just trying to be careful about, how we carve out, some of that money to continue for those services to, continue with Floyd County offerings this next year. So I felt good about that. And I know the Floyd County Hospital, like you said, was the one comment that we've had, that I've talked to several people also, I want to mention, in the community that did not disagree with the stance that we took also. So I do want to mention that. I've had specific people come up and say that they understood.
Yeah, I really agree that the budget is, it's a good process. Sometimes it gets kind of unwieldy, but it's a forced review of your business practices, I guess, for the last year and going forward, and I'd like to add that hospital too. I told them, you know, that they assured me that they were not in danger of going broke, but we're going to keep a closer eye on it, so it'll be an ongoing thing.
Absolutely.
Yes, I thought the process that we went through in the budget was open, transparent, allowed for the opportunity for agencies to come back before the board after they learned of their initial, the board's initial determination. So I thought it was fair, balanced, and I'm pleased with the way the board addressed the issues, and as always, thank the auditor for all of her hard work.
Absolutely, I
Regarding
thank you
putting the
too.
budget together, it's a long, tiresome process, and you know, the auditor is a key component of the board's work in this area.
We
Absolutely.
need to keep track of how many pounds of paper and how many gallons of ink we use.
All right, so with that, do we have a motion to approve Resolution 13-18, which is the adoption of our budget and certification of taxes for fiscal year 19?
I would move to approve resolution 13-18.
Seconded.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. And with that, we jump down to item 14.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.